patience. And so hopefully everything will go smoothly today. So can we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance? And I could ask somebody from the audience. How about Andy Lee? If Andy Lee could come out and kind of lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance. I thought it'd be special today for a reason. So Andy, come on.
All right, put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much, Andy. You definitely improved since 15. It's good. You got it. You got it down. That's all good. And so, can we have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
We got a first and a second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. Give me 1 second here. I just lost everything. Sorry. No, computer just went whack on me. All right, so report out of closed session. If I can get the hard copy, actually, thank you. That's why. Yes, we did. All right, so the Board of Education closed session voted as follows: 5 yeas, 0 nays, to approve the following administrative appointment effective July 1st, 2022, to Mina Shiratori, elementary principal assigned to Carr Elementary School. Give her an applause. Let me get a little bio of Mina. Mina Shiratori currently serves as elementary principal at Culver City Unified School District. Mina is a principal at the El Marino Language School, a Spanish-Japanese immersion dual language program, and has been a principal for 6 years. Prior to that, she served at the same school as assistant principal for 3 years and as a teacher for 7 years. Mina brings extensive experience serving students within a dual language program, understanding the needs of language learners, and building collaborative spaces for the adults on her campus. Mina earned a bachelor's degree in human development from the University of California, San Diego, and a master's degree in education from the University of California in Los Angeles. We welcome Mina to TUSD. Yay!
It is my honor and pleasure to join the Torrance Unified School District and look forward to working on behalf of the dual language programs as well as all the elementary schools. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm very humbled.
Thank you and welcome. The Board of Education in closed session also voted as follows: 5 yeas, 0 nays, to approve the following administrative appointment effective July 1st, 2022, to Suzanne Guidi, elementary school principal assigned to Walteria Elementary School. Look at the bio here. Suzanne Guidi currently serves as elementary assistant principal with Fullerton School District, where she has been since 2020. During that time, she also served as interim elementary principal in fall 2021. Prior to her administrative career, Suzanne was an elementary teacher in Wiseman Unified School District from 2002 to 2020. Suzanne brings experience leading the implementation of programs to support social emotional education, recognizing positive behavior, and improving intervention services. Suzanne earned a Bachelor of Arts in Business Administration from Loyola Marymount University, a Master of Arts in Education from Loyola Marymount University, and a master's degree in Educational Administration from Azusa Pacific University. We welcome Suzanne to TUSD.
Thank you, President Hahn, School Board, Dr. Stowe, and Cabinet. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am so excited for this new journey as a principal of Walteria Elementary School. And as an educator, I have a passion for providing rich opportunities for students and experiences to find their own passions and in turn so that they can become thriving members of the community. And now I'm so excited to get started on the work and meet the Walteria staff very soon, the parents, and of course, the students, the heart of the school. Thank you again, and go Wildcats.
Welcome back to the South Bay, obviously, out of the heat, out of Fullerton, back into the promised land, the South Bay area. That's like I always say. We love the South Bay. All right. The Board of Education in closed session voted also as follows: 5 yeas, 0 nays, to approve the following administrative appointment effective July 1st, 2022 to January King, high school assistant principal assigned to South High School. January King currently serves Temecula Unified School District as a teacher on special assignment as the International Baccalaureate Coordinator and the Advanced Placement Program Coordinator, a role she's been in since 2003. She was previously an English teacher at Chaparral High School, also Temecula Unified School District for 2 years, and an English teacher at Bell High School for 7 years. January is a leader in standards-based grading practices and AP systems and support. January earned her Bachelor's of Arts in Psychology from the University of California, Santa Barbara, and a master's degree in education from Western Governors University. We welcome January to TUSD.
It is a pleasure and a privilege to be here and to come back to Los Angeles, where I was born and raised, back to Dodger Town. Be exciting. Although I am really excited to bring some of the systems that I've been able to develop over the years to the area. I'm really passionate about that as well. I also learned today exactly how many shades of green there are in the world. It'll be very tricky. I'm going to spend a lot of time looking for the appropriate greens, I'm afraid. And otherwise, meeting with the team at South, I'm really excited to work with them. What a great team they seem to be. Thank you so much.
Welcome. One day I'm going to ask you how you got your name January. So, going on, the Board of Education in closed session also voted as follows: 5 yeas, 0 nays, to approve the following administrative appointment effective July 1st, 2022. Kelsey Jimerson, high school assistant principal assigned to Torrance High School. Kelsey Jimerson currently serves as assistant principal in Ednovit charter schools in Los Angeles, where she has been since 2020. Previously, Kelsey was a curriculum writer for 6 years, a 6th grade English teacher for 3 years, and an 8th grade English and social studies teacher for 3 years, all in the Baltimore City public school system. Kelsey brings leadership in instructional and academic programs, as well as expertise in planning, engaging, and meaningful professional development. Kelsey earned a Bachelor of Arts in Geography from the University of California, Los Angeles, and a Master of Science in Education from Johns Hopkins University. We welcome Kelsey to TUSD. Yay!
Thank you, everyone. I'm incredibly honored to be joining the Torrance Unified family, and I cannot wait to get started and start the work at Torrance High School. Everyone that I've met so far has been just so welcoming, and I'm just incredibly excited to be here. Thank you all.
We're excited to have you, especially at Torrance High School. Torrance High School, all right. All right, so the Board of Education, I'm just saying, the Board of Education would also like to announce the following administrative appointment effective June 1st, 2022. Carrie Skoll, Director of Employee Resources. Carrie Skoll currently serves as the confidential administrative assistant to the chief personnel officer here at Torrance Unified School District, a role she has been in since January 2021 after serving the previous 4.5 years as an HR specialist also here at TUSD. Carrie previously served as an administrative analyst with the city of Torrance for 4 years and as a variety of increasingly responsible project management positions for a federal job training program for 4 years. Carrie earned her bachelor's degree in public administration from the University of Southern California and her master's degree in business administration with an emphasis in human resources management and organizational development from the University of Southern California. Carrie is also a certified professional in human resources management from the Society for Human Resources Management. We congratulate Carrie on her new assignment.
Thank you, President Han and members of the Board of Education. I wanted to thank you all for the opportunity to serve Torrance Unified in this capacity. I'm really excited about the projection for this position and helping to grow the classified personnel, focusing on professional development and also working with our labor partners. As a classified employee myself, I see the opportunities here for growth, and I'm looking forward to it. Also, as a parent of recent Torrance Unified graduates, I'm really excited to continue to work here. And thank you for the opportunity.
Woo-hoo! Thank you, Carrie, so much. And we're excited for your new position as well. Thank you for all that you've done already. So we are grateful. And so we're looking forward to seeing you in your new role. Report by student representative, Maylene, and recognition. So take it away, Dr. Egan.
Thank you, President Hahn. Good evening, members of the board. I'd like to introduce Maylene Ta, senior West High School, who's going to give our student report.
Thank you, Dr. Egan. Nearing the end of the school year, the ASBs at each of the 4 schools continue to plan fun and exciting events for their student body. APs are over and end of the year senior events are coming up. North High reported that their APs have successfully been ongoing and they're transitioning now into CASP testing, which has been a smooth transition to block schedule. North High's prom theme is Garden of Glamour. Tickets are being sold a few weeks from now. Seniors will meet after school for senior sunset, watching the sunset as a way of concluding the year together. Grad night is being held at Knott's Berry Farm on June 14th. South High shared that during APs, teachers and peers felt very supported and everyone is excited that it's done. South High has finished their club reform process and is emailing status reports to all clubs. South High's Picture Perfect Prom is May 21st and everyone is very excited. Lip syncs for each class have been posted on YouTube and facilitator training and preparation to pass on Spartan small steps is in the process. The Spartan Laurel ceremony is May 18th. South High is preparing for their indoor class comp and dance-off. Torrance High is preparing for their first all-school indoor rally on May 27th. Class councils are getting ready for a dance rally which will take place during the rally on May 27th. Prom is at the Natural History Museum on June 4th. Achievement Awards Night is May 18th. Torrance High is getting ready to film their lip dub and is planning for it to come out on June 1st. Torrance High School Theater is doing another play called The Triangle from May 19th through 21st. The fashion show by Torrance High School Fashion Club is on May 12th at 7 p.m. West High School has also completed AP testing and has transitioned to CASP testing and block schedule. West High School Fashion Show was on May 12th and prom was this past Saturday, May 14th at the Los Angeles River Center and Gardens. West High School held an incoming 9th grade athletic night on May 11th. Decision Day was on May 13th and all the seniors were able to celebrate their college and future plans. Achievement Awards Night is on May 18th where students will be honored for excellence in different categories. All schools are working hard to put on events to celebrate the end of the school year. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Any comments from the board? Any questions from the board? All right. Well, I have one question. So where are you going next year?
UCLA.
All right. Yes, UCLA. And so we have a little acknowledgement that we want to give you. And so should we do it here? In front? Yes. Did you do orientation today?
I signed up.
Oh, you did? You were so stressed out at 3 o'clock today. Oh, you did? Okay, all right. 3 o'clock. So certificate of recognition to Maylene Hall. To his award as a certificate as West High School student representative to the Board of Education, 4th quarter 2021, given the 16th day of May 2022. Good luck. We're excited for you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Congratulations again and best luck up to you. Excited for you at UCLA. You're gonna be awesome there. Moving forward, we have good news presentation, and this is one really exciting from our international students. It's Dr. Egan. Yes.
Thank you again, President Hahn. I'd like to introduce my colleague, Mrs. Jerry Lynn Mock, who's going to share some information with you all about the growing program we have here in Torrance that supports the bringing of international students to our schools. While she's getting situated, I'll just share, I can speak firsthand to the merits of this program. I had the opportunity this current school year in my household for our family to host a student from Italy. And so he graced us with all kinds of great experiences and perspectives. He's a very outgoing young man who we'll never forget. So we were very grateful to have that opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Egan, President Hahn, board members, Dr. Stowe and cabinet. Thank you for the opportunity to bring you this good news and update you on the TUSD International Student Program. As you know, all 4 of our comprehensive high schools are certified by Homeland Security's Student Exchange Visitor Program to accept students on an F1 visa here in our high schools. This year, we enrolled 60 international students, 40 students at Torrance High, 20 students at South High. Most of these students stay and attend their allowed full year. Some students attend only for 1 semester. This year's class of 2022 will be graduating 27 students through the international program. Each year, the program has continued to grow. We are expecting between 115 and 125 students in the district placed at all 4 high schools next year. Over the years, I've spoken at various groups to promote this program and raise awareness of our need for quality host families in our community. But tonight is extra special because it's the first night that I've been able to bring students with me to speak to you. So I want to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about their experience here in Torrance. They're following a script, so please keep that in mind. English is not their first language and they're very nervous. So they've been kind of fighting over who's going to go first. So there's 3 students, so they're going to come up and speak.
Hi, I'm Loria, and everyone calls me Lou here, but I'm from Switzerland and I'm currently in the 12th grade and I'm at South. And I wanted to study in the United States because I wanted to learn about the culture and also improve my English, but also like make so many memories and experiences and meet so many new people. And school in the US is different from Switzerland because at home school is literally just academics and nothing more. And here it's so much more. The school spirit is amazing. The activities that you guys have here is great. And I really like it. And then when I return home at the end of the year, I will miss all the people I met here. And I really enjoy going to school here. So I like that. And also I'll miss the climate here in California. And yeah, all the things I won't be able to do anymore. And then also everything was really cool. I was able to attend surf at South, and I'm also like dancing in school, which is great. And I had a surf competition, which was amazing because we can't really surf in Switzerland. It's not really there's no really body there. And also dance. I had an amazing dance show last week, and it was a really great time. And I would say it was one of the best years of my life. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Olivia. I'm from Slovakia and I'm currently studying in the 12th grade at South. I went to study in the US because I thought it would be a lifelong experience, and it truly turned out that way. The school here is very different from the school that we have at home because I had an opportunity to choose the subjects that I enjoy and focus on them. The one thing that I have liked the best about attending school in Torrance is making new friends and making memories with them, which was truly amazing. And I love California so much that I decided I want to stay here for longer. So I tried to apply to a few colleges to see how it works out. And I managed to get to a few. And I decided to commit to UCSB, which was my dream school. So I'm really happy to stay.
Hi, my name is Martin. I'm from Slovakia. I attend Torrance High School. I'm in 11th grade. I wanted to study in the United States because of the opportunity to get new friends and to know how it is to study abroad and live in a different environment. School in the United States is different from school in Slovakia because of the way the teachers communicate and approach the students. The one thing I have liked the best about attending Torrance High School is that the teachers were very nice and helped me whenever I wanted to and I needed to. When I return home at the end of this year, I will miss my host family and friends that I made during this amazing year. One of my favorite memories outside of school was winning tickets from the radio station to Stagecoach and getting a real
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. They were pretty nervous. I had to buy them dinner. talk to them. If anyone would like more information about hosting, there is an interest form that they can fill out on the TUSD website. Under schools, there is an international student program, and if the community selects that, there is an interest form that they can fill out, and then they'll be contacted to get more information about hosting one of these wonderful students here.
Thank
All
you. Any comments, any questions from our fellow board members?
One of the girls was talking
If
about.
you guys could come out, it'd be great. It'd
was
be
par-
wonderful if all three of you
Was
guys could come
talking
out.
about participating in surf and dance. How, because of CIF, how does it work that they get to, do they get to participate in any sport? And
It depends on what their experience has been in that sport in their home country. We've worked really hard with CIF to determine the steps that we need to take to get those students eligible. The athletic director at Torrance High School did a lot of research and kind of put together a packet that each of the schools will be able to use. And other than one student, we have managed to get everybody cleared to play at the varsity level through CIF.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hi, I am very supportive of international exchange programs such as this, and I'm so glad and proud that our school district has it for many years now. And one of the reasons, because I have firsthand experience of how wonderful, how much knowledge myself as an exchange student, because I was one when I was in high school, and it was Switzerland that I was an exchange student to. My host family is from Zurich, and my host mom's from Lucerne. So I actually got to visit both of those cities quite a lot. It was also one of the most wonderful experience of my life. Where in Switzerland are you from?
I'm in Basel.
Basel in the north area.
Yeah.
Yeah, I traveled the entire country. No place really well. I loved it. And so wonderful to have you here in Torrance, and also the other students from Slovakia. We're very happy to hear what a wonderful experience you all had. When you go back home, I know you're gonna be in Santa Barbara, so that's great. But if you do go back home, let them know how wonderful your experience was, and especially here in Los Angeles, and the city, the district is Torrance, that you want to make sure they know. All right, well, thank you. I'm so happy to hear that you guys had a great experience, just like I did too. So
I have a little bit of a connection to the other students. I studied abroad in the Czech Republic when I was in college, which was over 10 years ago. So I think it's Dobry večer. Is that right? Is that good night? Is it good evening? No, that's okay. Different language. I'm sorry. But I was curious. I think that one of the great things about being able to experience another culture is that you can notice things about your own culture that you may have just taken for granted before, but you also are bringing a fresh set of eyes to the culture here. So I was kind of curious if there was one thing that you would change about school in America, what would it be? For anyone. It's okay, It's perfect. It's perfect.
Exactly, it's perfect.
especially in Torrance.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much.
Actually, may I make one more comment? I want you to know, yes, my experience in Switzerland was wonderful. And ever since, I am so impressed, and I learned about how everybody, most people, or almost everybody I met in Switzerland, they're all very environmentally conscious. I was exposed to the idea of composting and the whole green movement before it's even trendy here in the state, or it's popular or well-known. So it's been a few decades. I'm happy to say that I was a former environmental quality and energy conservation commissioner for many years. And I think I give a lot of credit to your country that exposed me to it. And I was actually there during a very special 700 year anniversary. During that time, I was selected as a representative of US because your government had selected a few students from all the countries in the world. And I got to know a lot more of your history, and even lived in that Romanian area, Swiss-Romanian area, where I can still use my Swiss German, not my high German, of course, but it was just fantastic. So I felt very special to be a part of that 700-year anniversary. So thanks a lot. A good part of what I am today is because of that experience. So thank you.
Dr. Watt, any comments? Very excited to see and hear all the good stuff. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming.
Mr.
Dr. Stowe.
So I just want to recognize Mrs. Mock for her work. So we were first cleared by the Department of Homeland Security for this program back in 2010. We did it because the recession was hitting us very hard. And this was an opportunity that we saw as a district at the time to raise some revenue. Currently, this program generates nearly $500,000 in revenue for the district. And that's something people forget. But really it's the stories that she gets to work with these students on and create these opportunities. And so she's taken what we had, 8, 10, 12 students per year. And especially now after the pandemic, when other school districts, very few districts in the state of California are certified by Homeland Security to do this. And during the pandemic, many districts shut down their programs. And so the demand is up internationally for this, and we are welcome and open to hosting. And so, it really, Jerry Lynn has just done a fantastic job of hand-holding them. I do want to also recognize Kareem Gurgis, because when the first call was made to Kareem to say, hey, do you want to do this? His first answer was, of course. And they really helped set the bar for the experience at the school with the counselors and the staff on campus. So a lot of hard work on our end, but the benefit has been tremendous. So thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Jerry Lynn.
Yeah, I just want to express my gratitude to Jerry Lynn. I was going to mention the same thing, especially this past year with COVID. It could not have been easy. And so thank you, not only to Jerry Lynn, but also not only to Kareem Gurgis, but also to all the host families. I'm grateful for all the hosts. This is possible because of our host families. Again, if you would like to be a host family, please contact Jerry Lynn. It is a great program. I know at Torrance High School, all the kids loved you guys, all the international students. My kids always talked about the international students. As a matter of fact, because of the Italian students, we found Fata Amano in Redondo Beach. Fantastic. If it wasn't for those kids, Italian kids, we would never know. And that's our favorite place now. And so, but I'm glad you went to Stagecoach. Awesome experience. You'll never forget that. I'll tell you that much. And Santa Barbara is beautiful. And my nephew goes there. You're going to love it there. And thank you so much for coming and sharing. I know this is not easy, but you guys are a great representation of your country. And I'm so grateful that you had a wonderful experience. And so good luck to all three of you. And thank you for coming and making your time today.
Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, for our guests, I feel bad for our guests who are here today. You're more than welcome to leave. I know you got school and things going on, so please feel free to leave. But as we're leaving, we're going to have a report from the Torrance Council of PTAs. I just got to I don't want to, they got work, they got schools to take care of. I got to,
No, it's wonderful to hear about the students and their experience, because over the 10, 12 years, actually, now that it's been a program, many PTA folks have hosted students and have told me how marvelous that experience is. And there are many things that are different and unusual for the kids here, but there's a lot of universality too in the student experience. So that's been neat to hear also. But anyway, good evening. President Hahn, board members, Dr. Stowe and cabinet, and those of you who are still remaining in our viewing audience. Oh, it's so Thank you for being here. I am Terry Reagans from the Torrance Council of PTAs. Just to fill you in on a few things that are happening with PTA. One of those is that we took the opportunity to put together the number of volunteer hours that PTA people put in this year. And it's a little less than usual, but still, even in this difficult time with people getting onto campus, we still have 82,000 volunteer hours that PTA people were able to donate and contribute to our school campuses. So I wanted to thank them for all of that effort and making our schools an enriched environment. All of our schools are doing scholarships and award ceremonies for those right now, and are very excited to have the kids, first of all, tell them where they're going, as President Hahn did with representative here, but also to have them have some money to help them along the way. It's not a huge amount of money, but every little bit helps. We all know as having been parents of college kids. I do want to mention that a number of us, a couple dozen of us, went to the California State PTA convention. And it was in an amazing location in beautiful downtown Ontario. But at least we got to go to a convention and be there with folks. Everyone was still wearing masks. And there were a few positive cases in the meantime, but nobody got bent out of shape because of it. So we all are learning to deal with the COVID situations. I do want to say that during convention, we passed a resolution supporting more plant-based menu selections in our school cafeterias. So we will probably be talking to you about that. One other thing that's happening with Torrance Council is we are supporting Measure SST, which is a Torrance sales tax measure that's on the ballot for June. That will be very important for us to have a safe, strong community. And PTA felt strongly enough about it to support them as an organization. A few upcoming events I want to make sure you know about. And since Torrance Education Foundation is not here this evening, I will mention that they are having their annual fundraising dinner on Friday, May 20th. I do happen to know that tickets have sold out, so you can't buy a ticket, but you might be able to get one from someone that already has one. But you can also contribute to the organization, even if you are not present. They're having an auction online, so please do contribute if you'd like to. And it is just at Torrance Education Foundation on their website. And the last thing is that there will be for Torrance Council, our last meeting of the year. That will be on June 8th. It's our spring brunch, we call it. And normally it would be a brunch situation, but this will be the first time that we will be using a performing arts center for the event. So therefore, there will be some food to start outside, and then the event will happen inside with no food. As many of us know, there's no food in our performing arts centers. And then a lunch for pickup on the way out. So that will be on June 8th. And I hope as many of you as can will join us. That will be at North High School. Again, in the Performing Arts Center, and there will be student entertainment. We haven't had that in a number of years, so I'm looking forward to that. And the very last thing I want to mention is this Saturday. Is this Saturday? Am I in the wrong week? May 21st is the College and Career Fair. We haven't had that event for 2 years. For obvious reasons, but this will be in person at Torrance High School from 10 o'clock in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There will be over 60 college and training program representatives there to speak to the students and the families. And there will be about a dozen workshops for students and parents to partake of. And I wanted to mention in particular, there will be one directed at 7th and 8th graders who are thinking about college choices at this point. So it's never too early. So I hope you will join us for that too. And if you want to represent your college, we would be happy to have you do so too. You can go and sit with your college and share the information that you have from having experienced that environment with our students. That's a lot of what happens here. It's almost all local representatives, and they are just sharing what they know about the school and encouraging the kids to think about going to that school. So I think that is it. Lots happening at the end of the year, all sorts of culmination things. Believe it or not, there are food truck events starting to happen again at our schools. It's been a very long time since we've seen that happen, but they're starting to have food events outside and social gatherings, trying to make it as safe as possible without jeopardizing anyone. But so far, so good. So we're keeping our fingers crossed. So enjoy the end of the school year and the achievement awards and your graduations and promotions that you will be attending. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Thank you, Mrs. Reagans. Next, we have our superintendent's report, Dr. Stowe.
I just deleted 3 of the bullets of things that I was going to say because Mrs. Reagans mentioned them. Do want to highlight, I got an email last week from someone at the state and want to highlight Torrance High School student Ryan Ontiveros, who was selected as the historian in the California FCCLA. That acronym is the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. And I can't remember a time when we've had a student serve on a statewide committee like that, but want to congratulate Ryan for that achievement. We have Torrance High again. They are the lone athletic team still in the playoffs. The Torrance High baseball team will play in the CIF semifinals on Tuesday, tomorrow over here at Kendall Field at 3:15. So congratulations to them. We have on Wednesday here a vaccination clinic right downstairs here in the enrollment center from 2 to 7. No registration is necessary. Anyone who wants to get a vaccination, the 1st, the 4th, or the 3rd is welcome to drop by. Is that correct? All right. And then I mentioned at the last meeting about the governor's May revision, the budget that was going to be presented. That came out on Friday the 13th, and it presented a lot of good news for education. As you know, revenues are up across the state. And so there are a number of new dollars directed toward education, both K-12 and higher ed. We also were pleased to see that there were not any categorical programs, new programs presented by the governor in this budget. And so the next key date is June 15th, when the legislature will have to deliver a budget for signing to his desk. But in the meantime, we will continue to advocate for more dollars on the base grant, as we have done since 2013. And we know that's supported by Assemblymember Maritsuchi and Senator Ben Allen. So we can appreciate their fight in Sacramento for our district, as well as others that they represent with more money on the base. So we'll have at the June 21st meeting of the board, the budget presentation, where we will have more detail along with the LCAP that we'll present. And then at the 22nd meeting, we will have the board take action to approve the budget and the LCAP. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Still. Any questions from the board? Comments? All right.
Just a quick, you said for our FCCLA competition, Ryan, what school is he from?
Ryan Ontiveros from Torrance High School. I think he's a junior, but he was elected as the historian for the California FCCLA.
That's wonderful. And if you recall, I was a judge for that CTE competition, and gosh, so wonderful to hear what good news and what leadership positions our students have, especially in this CTE area. So
agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to public hearing. Public hearing on the naming of the Torrance High School girls softball field to Don Lee Field. I have a reading. Do I read it right publicly now? Okay. In selecting the name for any facility, the board may take into account those persons who have been involved in the planning, construction, or renovation of the facility, or any other relevant considerations. Mr. Don Lee has served the community of Torrance for over 40 years in a variety of roles. 40 years. I didn't know, I thought he was younger than that, but it's okay. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. During this time, he was a staunch advocate for improving TUSD facilities and was instrumental in the passage of school bond measures Y, Z, T, and U, including chair of the measures Y and Z committee and board president as the construction began on Measure T and U projects. Mr. Lee was first elected to the Torrance Unified School District Board of Education in 2007 and served for 13 years. One of Mr. Lee's key goals was for the Torrance High School girls softball team to have a home field on their campus. Thanks to the fiduciary leadership provided by the Board of Education during his tenure, the project was able to come to fruition and is nearing completion. In recognition of his many years of service and his passion for the project, the Board of Education is proposing that the Torrance High School girls softball field be named Don Lee Field. In accordance with the board policy, this is a public hearing of the Board of Education of Torrance Unified School District to name the newly constructed Torrance High School girls softball field Don Lee Field. And therefore, is there anyone present who wishes to comment on the proposal presented on tonight's agenda to name the Torrance High School girls softball field Don Lee Field? Should I read the, are there comments? Yeah, are they for public comments or is this for the right now? It's for right now. Okay. So the very first one to ask is Don Glavich. I'm sorry, Kareem Gerges to come up. Principal of Torrance High School.
All right, thank you, President Hahn, Board of Education, Dr. Stowe, and the SUP Cabinet for the opportunity to speak tonight. It's my great pleasure to be here tonight to talk about our softball complex, our softball program, and the naming of the field. As principal of Torrance High School, I'm elated that the Board of Education that included, and Terry, I'm glad you're here tonight as well, because you're a big part of this as well, was elated that that the building of the softball complex was approved and is currently under construction. Our softball program has continued to be a model of excellence and deserves to have a field they can call home. The excellence was evident again this year as they advanced to their 6th semifinal appearance in the last 14 years. So it brings us to tonight. It is with great joy that I stand here in full support of naming the softball complex the Don Lee Field. The Central area community and Don have always had a tremendous connection. That was evident as, for those of us that were present, at our graduations when Don would put on his Letterman's jacket or his baseball cap and the entire stadium would erupt with approval and applause. Don is not only alumni of Torrance High School, but he's also a business owner in the Central area and has always been a big supporter of Torrance High School. Don, personally, congratulations to you. It's my honor to stand before you as you're being recognized for your decades of service and support to TUSD, THS, by having the softball complex named the Don Lee Field. Congratulations, Tartar Pride. Thank you.
Next, we have Don Glavich. Back up. Such an important night. They wanted to be here. So good evening, President Hahn, board members, Dr. Stowe, cabinet, and everyone else that's still here. What an amazing night to take this moment to honor a man that's done so much for all of us. I think we're all in agreement with that. It's my great privilege to speak tonight in support of naming the new softball complex at Torrance High for Mr. Don Lee. It is without question that this project finally became a reality because of Don's unwavering commitment and efforts to not only make sure it would be built, but that it would be the best softball complex possible. And in thinking about what I was going to say tonight, I reflected a lot on early conversations Don and I had. Don't get nervous. One of the things I remember most was a conversation we had many years ago, and it revolved around our mutual love for Torrance High. And he spoke with so much pride in being a Tartar and about the positive impact his teachers and coaches had on his life. People like longtime teacher and coach Pat Zartman, someone who had had a considerable impact on both of our lives. And that's really what this is all about, right? This is why we're here. This is why we do the things that we do, that hopefully we can provide some meaningful impact on our students and our athletes. So Don, these are the people that you've impacted. You've helped give them a home they can call their own, something that will fill this program and this school and this community with a tremendous amount of pride. So it makes perfect sense that our players and all of the future generation of players are going to be able to look up the scoreboard and see the name of the person who had such a profound impact on their lives. All of you, I've thanked you before
thank you again. Thank you for making this happen. What an amazing gesture to honor someone who has given so many years to serving this community and this school district. And Don, congratulations. This is an honor that is so well deserved. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Glavich. Any online comments, Mr. Mara? Okay, thank you. Moving forward, speakers wishing to, I'm sorry, the Board of Education welcomes input from the public. Speakers wishing to address the board on non-agenda topics have completed the appropriate submission form on the district website or in-person speaker card. Time allotted for public comment on non-agenda items is limited to 3 minutes per comment and for a total of 30 minutes. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. We have one card.
Mr. Hahn, do you have
yes.
to close the hearing?
Oh, I have to close it here. I'm so sorry. Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you for doing
Parliamentarian.
that. Thank you. You're very good. So the board will be considering the proposal to name the Torrance High School girls softball field Don Lee Field in item DA-11.2. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dr. Dorset. So we're going to have Mr. Rohan Ganguly come and speak if he's still here. Yes.
So to preface this, I'm from my teacher's AP Government Politics class, Mr. Hedinger at West High School. So that's just, so one of our projects actually for the end of the year is a civil service project to kind of get involved with the community. And one of those options was to speak at a school board or like attend a school board meeting. But I thought if I'm here and attending, might as well just voice my opinion on something that's been plaguing my mind recently. So one thing I've noticed is like recently, as a senior myself, we've gone through college admissions recently. And one of the main subjects, one thing like in our increasingly digital world, computer science is one of the biggest like main topics that people want to pursue and people want to major in college. But I feel like the resources at our schools are kind of subpar, at least in terms of classes. So one thing Westside doesn't have is an AP Computer Science A class. And I think that's a really fundamental class in terms of college admissions. So when students don't have the opportunity to take a class like that, when it's offered at another school, which is South High School, it's kind of an uneven playing field for students that are going to go and pursue this major in college. And along with that, there's also classes like Physics C and like on the topic of STEM itself, like Physics C is an advanced physics course that South High also has that West High doesn't. So I always thought that the fact that our school kind of lacks those two courses while South High has those courses and we're applying to the same colleges, we're applying to the same majors, we're going to be taking those same classes in college while they have a different, like a higher knowledge base. I think it creates kind of an uneven playing field. And that's just been something that I've always like wanted to talk about, like that we could maybe have these opportunities to maybe get these classes at schools like West High, where there's not a lack of demand, but rather a lack of opportunity to take these classes. And I mean, I should do more research on this. I mean, like taking maybe a survey of who wants to take this. Maybe I know there's a lack of like teachers because majors like computer science, of course, it's a lot. They might not be driven to education as a career, but I still think that it's really important in such a digital world that students should have the opportunity to take such classes like AP Computer Science and Physics C that are like so relevant to today's careers. And yeah, that's kind of it.
Thank you so much. Awesome, by the way. And I really do appreciate you coming and sharing your thoughts. And it's so kind of funny, last meeting, we talked about our CTE programs and how the equity issue is, some schools have some programs, some not. And you're absolutely right. And I think that that's a challenge for all of us. But thank you for being bold and speaking out, I think those classes are worthwhile. Obviously, way too advanced for me, especially for Dawn, but I think it's great to have classes like that for sure. And so any other comments from our board? Yes, Dr. Muhammad.
I just have one comment, and that is thank you for speaking up and just not attending a meeting, but voicing your thoughts. And we really encourage that from students to come forward just to kind of share thoughts with us. So thank you so much for doing that and going the extra mile for that.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
And I just want to thank you all for the opportunity of being able to speak here. So thank you.
Yes, as long as we're speaking. Thank you. I also appreciate you being here and sharing it. It's been West High School students who come every now and again and present that have been the most inspirational for me. And I've gone on to do things at the state level based on inspiration from them. Believe it or not, when I went to Torrance High, they didn't have AP or AB computer science. And so what I did is I grabbed a bunch of my friends who wanted to take AP computer science. We went to our geometry teacher, who was also a computer programmer, pitched the idea to him, And then we went to see our principal, and the next year we had it as juniors, and we took AP Computer Science. And then the next year took the AB Computer Science exam in class. So if you do get your friends together, sometimes you can also still make those things happen. So thank you.
And keep fighting. It's good.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
I didn't realize there were computers when you were in high school. Just kidding.
I attended computer camp when I was 5.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dawn, she thinks I'm as old as you.
It's the wisdom that counts, right?
It's all the gray hair.
Yeah.
Moving on to discussion action items, speakers wishing to address the board on agenda topics have completed the appropriate submission form on the district website or in-person speaker card. Time allotted for public comments on agenda items, limited 3 minutes per comment. Time allotted for each agenda item is 30 minutes per topic. A speaker may not relinquish his or her time to another. Any online speakers?
There are none, President Hahn.
Okay, and we have no cards. So moving on to action item 11.2, approval to name the Torrance High School girls softball field Don Lee Field. Any comments from our board? Anybody? Dr. Stowe? Any comments?
I'll say
Miss
something.
Lou.
I guess I'll start. I am in support of naming this field the Don Lee Field. As I've referenced before, I refer to Mr. Don Lee as our Torrance boy. He was raised here all his life. He went to school here in Torrance Unified School District, graduated from Torrance High School, as Principal Kareem just mentioned, started his business here in Torrance, continues to have his business here in Torrance. I was the president of Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce, served many years, quite a few years on the Torrance City Council, served many, many years on the school board here, and really helped a lot of us shape what the district's like. I believe he also met his wife here in Torrance. I mean, everything about you is Torrance. You still continue to work with the city government and, be involved in a lot of Torrance nonprofit organizations, volunteer and things. And so I think it's perfectly great to have this baseball field, softball field named after you, since you were so instrumental in putting it on too during your tenure here on the school board, along with many other things you did. But this one, at least we can name it after you so that the Torrance boy's name could live in perpetuity, recognized here. And I'm very happy to support this, and thank you for all the wonderful work that you've done for all of us and continue to do. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Liu. Anyone else?
Next, Dawn, there's just years and years, decades of service. And this is one of the least things that, we can do to recognize what you have done for the students and the ones that all lined up just earlier today. Is truly a sentiment and testimony to what you have done, what you've contributed to this community. Thank you so much for what you've done. And this is just something that we can do as at least to show our gratitude back to you. Thank you so much.
But sure, I just wanted to echo sentiments I shared when I was being sworn in of really understanding that you are leaving behind a legacy for our district. And I was tearing up when all of the students were here just thinking, and also I'm an empathetic crier, so I'm seeing people tearing up. I'm like, but it is, I think the emotions, the fact that yes, that when we go to spaces and when we see that it's named after someone, I think that there is this curiosity of who is this person, or what impact did they make that this building this field, the space is named after them. And I'm so excited to know that there will be students for generations who are going to be coming to Torrance High, to the softball field for games, and to recognize that they are coming to a place that is recognizing someone who's really committed their life to public service and to serving students like themselves. So yeah, thank you so much.
Well, I don't want to do the Don Lee razzing that we'll do that later, but thank you, Don, for your service and your mentorship to all of us and your guidance, because as everyone's talked about how much experience Don has, taught us what not to do. And so I thank you for that. And now when I go to, as Ms. Park said, now when I go watch girls softball, I could say, hey, I actually know that guy.
Thank you. Dr. Stowe, you want to make some comments?
Sure, I would. Thank you, President Hahn. So just a little history lesson for I think most of us know, and Don may say it when he has the opportunity, but he always wanted all of our schools to have our own stuff. And there are a few places that didn't. And girls softball was always that thing from an equity standpoint, for not just schools having facilities on their own, but really for the girls, because we all know kind of the experience that they've had at Wilson Park over the years, and nowhere to really, and Don Glavich was quoted in the paper just this weekend, nowhere really to call their home. And I'll never forget when Dr. Mannon was hired in 2005 and started, and we started talking about bonds, and then Don chaired the Y&Z campaign, and I know Don and Dr. Mannon became very close friends, and kind of instilled in this belief that we need to have the best facilities in the area, and because we deserve it. And just because previous bonds had failed does not mean that the next one is. And so, he kind of kept this dream alive, and look at what it's accomplished. I mean, we have a $20 million aquatics complex. We've had the Olympic water polo team train there, and we've had Olympic level caliber matches, and the gyms at the middle schools, and all of these other things. And Don will say that it's about the budget and the buildings, and that's what he brought to the organization. And so to have this named after him is great. It'll continue to be the beacon for what other districts aspire to with regard to their girls softball programs. All four of our high schools have just unbelievable softball programs. They're always ranked very highly every year, and this is just going to allow Torrance to take it to another level. So thank you, Don, and thank you for the board and President Hahn for your willingness and courage to be able to go out and take this action, because it's very well deserved and gives good recognition where it's due. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stowe. I think I should make a final comment here. For those of you who do not know, the reason why I'm here on the school board is because of Dawn. I would not be on the school board. I didn't even know what school board was, and yet Dawn invited me. So if you don't like me, it's his fault, by the way. So you can all put the blame on him at the end of the day. But again, so grateful for his leadership all these years, 8 years on city council, 13 years as Torrance Unified School Board member. And technically, I always call him the unofficial Torrance historian. This guy knows everything about Torrance, like nobody's business. Like he knows every secret, public, not public, private, scandalous. He knows all, right? Don Lee knows everything that goes on within the city. And so you want to make sure you didn't know your name or else you're going to be in trouble. But he is absolutely a man that loves the city. He loves Torrance. Man, this guy has so much Torrance pride. It's amazing. And it just exudes out of him. And so, but at the same time, as much as he loves Torrance, he loves his family. That's one thing. I've never said this to Don, but one thing I've always watched you is your family. And I think that to me is your best testament, how much you love your wife and your kids. It's true. The way you talk about them, the way you celebrate them. And if I know how much you love the city and you love your family more, it just tells me a lot how much you love your family. And so to me, that is your greatest testament to me. Just all that you have done for your family, how much you support your family. I remember when you told me the best part about school board, this is what you told me, was the best part about being on the school board is that you get to hand out your diploma to your son. And that was the one thing I've been looking forward to 4 years, so that I get to hand out my diploma, his diploma, to my son, and I've been thinking about your hug with your sons. And so I'm thinking about my little dance, right? Whatever. That's what I'm waiting for at that point, but that's what it was. It was those kind of moments where to celebrate those things. And I know that you've always said that that if you die in a plane crash, it'd be great so that we can name a school after you. But at the end of the day, it's great that you're alive, and we decided, you know what, we'll name a field after you. At least we can celebrate while you're still here. And so, hey, that's a little bit better in that way. But I think it's more appropriate. You having a school named after you, that doesn't really match, but a field matches, in my opinion, right? Because you know what? It's going to be filled with laughter, love, just frivolity. Just when I think about base softball and how much fun, have the whole community comes out. This past Saturday, I was at the softball game for our Torrance High School, and to see the community out there and cheering and yelling, having so much fun and celebrating the girls, that's you. That embodies you. Community, laughter, fun, just joy in every way. And I think that's why I hope that everyone that comes to Donnelly Field, that they would always know who that person was, a person that cared about his community, a person with the fullness of life, a person that really just gave everything to the community and stuff. Like every kid that will give everything in the game, you gave everything to your city. So this is well-deserved. We are honored to name this field after you, and we want to thank you for all your years of all that you've done, especially for Torrance Unified. I remember when you talked about this field in the very beginning, you said you're going to look for every penny under every couch, every place, so that we would have enough. And that's fruition, and it's because of you. And so congratulations. We're excited for you. So can we have a motion to name this Torrance High School girls softball field Don Lee Field? I would like to make that motion.
I'll second.
We got a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. So I can ask if Mr. Don Lee could come up and to say a few words, if you do not mind.
Mrs. Lee is always a little worried when I have a mic and not a whole lot of at least it's good there. I'm visiting a casket out here, so I don't know what to think about that. I think this doesn't happen without a school board and a cabinet that's willing to do stuff. And I like to say that being a city councilman is a lot of fun, but you actually get to do things as a school board member, and you get to make things happen. You get to see things. School board members get to move the ball as opposed to other elected officials and other places that direct staff to do it. Well, okay, but around here there's a lot of staff, so sometimes you just have to do it yourself. This honor is a little above and beyond how I can quite process it. Again, yes, Mrs. Lee, every time we're in an airplane that's bumping around a bit, that was always my line. So I guess this is a better way to get it. There's no memorial to Mrs. Lee in the field. But thanks to all of you for doing this. I will introduce my family. I'll probably forget a couple of names, but that's Jean Lee, my wife, who we talk about buildings and bonds. Marrying her then taught me about special ed and classroom management and all the other things that made me a far better school board member than I would have been without her. So, and the love of my life. Nicole Lee, my daughter, who has added a lot of joy in my life over the last 15 years and keeps me on the straight and narrow and makes sure things match. Having 3 boys ahead of time, we didn't get that right all the time. My oldest son, Devin, who did graduate from West High, as all of them did. They're, maroon here, but Brown there. Devin Lee, my oldest son, his fiance, Carly Jorling, who was a South High graduate. Yes. Zachary Lee, youngest son, Andy Lee in the corner, middle son, and Pledge of Allegiance extraordinaire. None of this gets done without them putting up with me and everything that goes with it. And again, Mr. Glavich, who came to me as a representative TTA, and we were talking about this actually, the genesis of this was actually probably at the Crest Bar. Because it happened to be across the street from my office, just because it was across the street from my office, I think. But anyway, and we talked about the challenges that he was facing and thought that maybe we could come up with a solution. Cream Burgess, the principal, kind of shepherded along when I bounced around and said, what happens if we put a field here? And he humored me for a while. And then certainly Dr. Mann and Dr. Stowe, who humored me as I was finding thousands of little funds of money. We can't use that. Well, can't we launder it here? And do this?
He was kidding.
You can't do your job unless you understand the budget at least as well as, maybe not as well as him, but at least well enough to where you can go find the quarters in the couch. So that's, it's just pretty amazing. So thank you. And I don't want to say other than just thanks to all of you guys for doing this. And it's pretty amazing. And there's still time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don. Thank you. I think that was the first time I've ever seen Don stuck for words, right? I love it. It's wonderful. Thank you, Don, again. Congratulations, and we celebrate with you. Well-deserved in every way. Moving on to 11.3, approval of proposed board policies and board bylaws. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you when we actually feel this done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll work on mine.
All right, approval of board proposed board policies and board bylaws update March 2022 revisions, first reading. Dr. Stowe.
As is customary, if you so choose, you can waive the second reading and approve these.
Anybody make a motion to waive the second reading?
I move to waive the second reading and approve the board policies and bylaws.
Second.
We got a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those against say nay. All right. Motion passed. Moving on to consent items. Are there any consent items that anybody would like to pull?
I would like to pull 15.6 and 18.4.
Okay, 15.6 and 18.4. Anyone else? I would like to also pull 15.6 as well. Then can we have a motion to approve consent items except for items 15.6 and 18.4?
So moved.
Second.
We got a first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
15.6, Dr. Gerson.
Well, first, let me start by saying that I want to thank and express appreciation to everyone who is involved in trying to come up with this plan. So this is about secondary school start time. We had to pull teachers and administrators and parents together to have these conversations because Sacramento has forced us to change school start time. I'm still very upset that they've gone to the point of micromanaging when bells can ring at schools and when schools can start. Whether we agree with the need to move it or not is not relevant to the conversation. If we had a group of students here or a group of parents or a group of teachers who were asking for start time to be changed, then it would be great. And we would do it if the community needed it. But the fact that we're doing it because Sacramento told us we had to is incredibly inappropriate on their part. And I think an overreach, and they're just micromanaging too much. So when I vote no on this, I do not want it to reflect poorly upon any person who worked on this plan. I love the plan and I love the work that everyone did. And I appreciate each and every one of them. And that my no vote is solely directed at Sacramento.
Thank you, Dr. Gerson. I also share Dr. Gerson's sentiments as well. We want to first appreciate all everyone who has put all that hard work time into this. I know that it was not easy, a lot of discussion how to go on, but we are grateful for all your hard work. At the same time, I want to also let the public know, just in case the public does not know, high schools will start at 8:30 and middle schools will start at 8:40, pending a board approval here. But same feeling I have with Dr. Gerson is that I also believe that it was an overreach by Sacramento by telling us that we need to change our time. Again, I think that it should have been left to the local districts to make their own decisions. Because of the fact that we know our community the best and we also know our students the best. And so again, this is not our decision. It was something that was passed on by Sacramento. It has to be law. And so because of it, we are stuck in the situation that we are in today. And so, but again, this does not take away from all the hard work everyone has put into this. And so we applaud you. And we're going to, again, adjust and learn and grow for it. We'll go with this. And so, but thank you for everyone that put their hard work into this. So anyone would like to make a motion to approve 15.6?
So moved.
We got a first.
Second.
We got a first and second. So all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And all those against?
Nay.
We got one nay. Thank you. Moving on to 18.4, Dr. Gerson.
Dr. Butler, would you please explain these charges that were put that were happening because under the COVID-19 emergency conditions?
Sure. So because of the COVID-19 emergency conditions, the governor did pass legislation or did pass the ability for us to use emergency purchasing systems for getting some items. So these first four that you see here are all equipment that we're lucky to find right now. There's such a dearth of both the equipment that we need to use for our lawns and our large field areas, in addition to stump grinders and just the things you don't think about. But if you don't jump on them right when they're available, they're not available anymore with long lead times. The last item there is the whole gym floor. We can go to a $60,000 limit under our existing purchasing capabilities, not emergency related. This bid came in a little bit higher than that, $68,000. And in talking this through with Ian Kempton and Richard Vasquez, our directors of maintenance and operations, and also purchasing, the company that we're going with here is the one that did the floor originally and did a great job. This had nothing to do with the work that they did. This had to do with outside water intrusion to the building as a whole. But this company did happen to have the materials available. They obviously know us very well, had a hole in their schedule where we could do it. So rather than the time and expense of going out for a bid, which again on a project of $68,000 will not likely yield too much in terms of savings, we thought in the ability of having the expediency to do this under emergency powers made sense to get the work done.
How long would it have taken if you hadn't done it under this?
Typically a bid can be as little as 5 weeks start to finish, but can take longer just depending on how it gets published and how quickly companies respond. We could have done it in another 5 weeks, might have saved a few $1,000s, might not have.
Can we get motions then to approve 18.4?
So moved.
Seconded.
We got first and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those against say nay. Motion approved. Moving on, comments from the members of the Board of Education, SoCal Rock. First, me. We're actually having our board meeting this Thursday, so we have nothing to report from Southern California Regional Occupational Center. CSBA, Dr. Gerson?
Nothing to report at this time.
All right. So other comments from the board? Anybody who would like to start?
I'll start.
All right, Dr. Gerson.
First of all, as our student board member mentioned, the West High School Athletic Night, I did have the pleasure of attending, seeing the presentation, and my daughter going over to look at some of the sports that she may want to participate in next year. Is very excited to start high school. I also wanted to thank, because Dr. Stowe mentioned, I want to wish the best of luck to the Torrance High School baseball team for their game tomorrow. Hopefully with a win, they'll be going for the championship this weekend. Also looking forward to seeing all of you at the Torrance Education Foundation dinner on Friday. So this is a really busy week with open houses and award ceremony. I'll be at West High School on Wednesday. So it's a very busy week for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gerson. Anyone else? Next. Mrs. Liu or?
Oh,
no?
I forgot something.
Oh, yes.
I
So-
forgot something.
Yes. I was going to
Sorry.
say, Dr. Gerson.
I forgot the big thing. Another thing that I'm extremely upset about. So at the last city council meeting, there was a discussion about the budget. We all know about the sales tax initiative that they have put on the ballot, talking about how this is going to help improve safety in the community and I thought to help support schools. But I noticed that crossing guards, they plan on turning 32 crossing guards down into 12, leaving a lot of our students at a lot of our schools vulnerable. And that they plan on eliminating the school resource officer program, which has been a part of Torrance. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to have, I think, do we have 6 or 8? No, we used to have 8 and then it went down to 6. Does that sound?
I don't know there was ever 8.
Was it?
Yeah, 6.
It went from 6 to 4 to 3 to now it's next year it'll be 0. And so that greatly concerns me. I think the city has an obligation to protect and the SRO program especially has been so incredibly important. You know, I think about the relationship just of Officer Tatum at North High. He was there for an extremely long time and I got to see the relationships that he made with students. He was like a father figure to a lot of them, and to have that relationship with a police officer, that was priceless for a lot of those students. I'm surprised at the announcement and at the turnaround. It doesn't seem like the values of Torrance that I grew up with. It seems like a big shift with our new city manager and what they're planning to do next year. So I think the community should be asking a lot of questions of those running for city council and running for mayor, to ask about what's happening with safety, especially as it relates to schools and the school resource officer program and the crossing guard program. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Carson. Mrs. Liu or Dr. Mohammed? Ladies?
Sure. I don't have my usual classified employees anniversary today because we don't have any for these 2 weeks. But I do want to point out, as a big advocate of CTE, Career Technical Education, that I'm very happy that on the consent calendar, we have just approved 2 new classes. I didn't want to, anyway, first one is commercial photography 1 and the other one's for commercial photography 2. Since I was a photography, I took a photography class myself in high school. I didn't do that well, but I'm very happy to hear, to see that we're continuing to improve our career technical pathways and to offer more CTE classes. So thank you, Secondary School Director, Dr. Egan, for doing this too.
Thank you, Mrs. Liu. Dr. Mohammed?
Yes. Thank you, President Han. I just wanted to share a couple things. One is just, again, congratulations to Mr. Lee and his family for their years of service to our community. This is that time of the month where we also have a lot of award celebrations. So I'll be looking forward to attending South High School Achievement Awards on Wednesday, followed by our TEF dinner on Friday. And then graduation, obviously, in June. So it's going to be a fun time and busy time as we close out the year. On Dr. Gerson's point, I learned about the, our SRO program and also the elimination of our crossing guard. And that's very concerning. Given that, safety and security of our schools, of our kids is extremely, extremely important to the community. And I share your sentiments on that. I encourage people to look into it, to also, I'll certainly be connecting with our city council folks to kind of inquire a little bit more into that and to see what we can do to advocate to make sure that those programs are in place for our schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Ms. Park? No comments. All right, so I'll conclude again. I want to echo, again, we celebrated Mr. Don Lee, and I think again, so congratulations to him and his family, well deserved. And again, we have a great deal of gratitude for all those years of service. And so I'm so glad that we're able to do that today. Also, just like as our brothers, everyone here shared on the board, is that we have Achievement Night Awards this Wednesday. And so again, to Southwest, North, and Torrance, congratulations to all the achievement winners. And so I know that's going to be a special day on that day. So again, congratulations to everyone that's going to be here. Also, today we were able to go into our induction today for our second year teachers. And so congratulations for everyone who was able to complete that today. I was able to stop by, and it was a great ceremony. It's a great program today. So we want to acknowledge our induction team for making that possible. It's great to have it in person today. I think that was exciting more than anything else. Also, I also want to congrats our Torrance High School baseball team for making it to the semifinals. So tomorrow's a big day. It's at Kendall Field. It's going to be packed. And so we'd love to have you out there to support these boys. And so it's exciting. If they win, they do go to the championship game. And so we would love to have you join us for that. At the same time, celebrate the team for all their achievements. So that's going to be tomorrow. But also, we also want to congrats Amora Jones. She won the 100-meter CIF championship at West High. And reason why I want to mention her is because of the fact that she tied Katie Crumpy's record for the 100-meter dash. So she already left, but I had to mention that. I was hoping that Amora would have beaten it, but hey, we have to make that special acknowledgement that she tied our very own Dr. Katie Crumpy. So again, to Amora Jones, congratulations for winning the 100 meters on CIF. And so what a great achievement and what a great time. And so she broke 12 seconds, 11.87, I think it was. And so congratulations to her as well. And again, I also want to join my fellow colleagues here to, again, talk about the situation regarding the city's budget. Again, whether or not the tax passes, they have made it clear in their budget presentation that they will be still getting rid of the crossing guards from 32 to 12. That is very disconcerting because of the fact that we're dealing with the safety of our children. And again, if you join around our schools, we need these crossing guards. So first of all, I want to thank the crossing guards for being there. They provide safety because it is literally crazy in the mornings. And so again, they're very important for the safety of our children. And I want to implore the city to rethink this obligation, to realize that safety, if that's your priority, then you know what? This is probably the biggest thing you can do for your city is to provide safety guards for 22,000 kids here in the city of Torrance. And so again, I want to implore them as well. Not only that, but our school resource officers. They've been a huge help and assistant to our kids on our campuses, especially to our middle school and high school campuses, when security is absolutely essential. And so these SROs have given their time. Again, we want to appreciate them, the 4 or 3 that we have. I know they've been tremendous help, and I deeply appreciate it, and they have great value to our schools. And again, obviously, they have also mentioned that they will no longer be provided for us starting next year. And so obviously, if they're going to pass this tax, then where's all that money going to go? Again, so my thing is that, you know what, it would be great if we could partner with our school district and to provide these safety measures so that our kids have ensured safety when they come to our schools. Again, that's what we're imploring. Again, as those elections are coming, we pray that you would talk to your officials, let them know your concerns about how important this is, that they add these crossing guards back into the budget as well as these SROs. Again, it's a public that needs to speak out, and we're asking for your help to speak out to them regarding our crossing guards as well as our SROs. Last but not least, I just want to make one final comment is at our last board meeting, we had our CTE presentation, and Kylie Dawson invited us to come to the West High School fashion show. I actually went. It was the first fashion show I ever went to. I was like, wow. First of all, I was thinking, wow, these kids have no shame. I mean, like, I could never do that, walk on stage like that, but they were awesome, absolutely awesome. And so we want to recognize all our fashion shows that we have at Torrance West, all the schools. You guys are all awesome. I was so amazed by their creativity and by their designs and by all these students who made it a wonderful event. Again, Kylie, thank you for coming and presenting to us what our CTE programs are doing. And so it was a great delight for that. Any other comments? All right. Can we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
We got a first, second? We got a first and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those can say no. Meeting adjourned. Oh, memoriam. I keep forgetting the memoriam. Thank you. In memoriam of retired custodian Noah Fatiliga. Thank you so much.